Hello and welcome to the Temple of Tomes with your host, Indie Comics Jones. Today is February 2nd, 2021, and this is episode 191. Today we're going to take a look at a graphic novel, or so to speak. It's a little bit different. It's by Adrian Tomine, and it's called The Loneliness of the Long Distance Cartoonist. The title's a take of The Loneliness of the Long Distance Runner. It is a New York Times bestseller, and we get a look at Adrian's work right here. It's a nice package, actually. It's hardbound, and I'm not sure what the page count is, but you get the kind of the moleskin treatment here with the extra elastic strap to keep it all closed, and you also have a nice page marker. Now, Mr. Adrian's pretty sarcastic and how should we say it? I guess at times humorous. I didn't find this book all that humorous, however. The packaging on it's beautiful. It's very nice. And it's put out by Drawn and Quarterly. I don't know what else to say about it, really, but let's get into it. First, let's take a look at other things that Adrian's worked on before. They give you a whole list of them here. His fiction is Sleepwalk and Other Stories, Summer, Blonde, Shortcomings, Killing and Dying. In nonfiction, he has scenes from An Impending Marriage, and he does illustrations for the New Yorker, I believe. So he has been very busy, born in 1974, and he's dedicated this to his two daughters. Now, overall, it's a well-done book. I mean, I'm not going to kid you on that. It's well-written. It's well-drawn. He's got a very line-drawing type style throughout this. I did look up his other works, and some of the works he does for, like, the New Yorker, are a little bit more detailed, a little more polished than this. And it's all done on this non-repo type blue background paper. And it kind of chronicles his life as far as his starting as a young child in Fresno, going all the way through the different cities he's been in through his life, finally becoming a family man in New York. The one thing I have about this is at times it seems like he tries to be too much like Woody Allen, and he doesn't quite pull it off. And I think because Woody Allen has some little funny jokes in there rather than just trying to be self-deprecating all the time. And that's what this suffers from. He talks about his low points throughout the whole book, and there's hardly anything that brings you above that. So you're always kind of riding at this low level throughout. He mentions offhandedly, and it's every once in a while, about some award that he might win or gets nominated for an Eisner. And I do think that his work does have merit. However, here in this book, we'll take a look at some of the things. It is a biography. It seems a little over the top at times, and it's always just kind of the sad, depressing things in life that I think all of us go through. I mean, it's a very relatable book in that sense, but it doesn't really have a story to me that is more outstanding than anybody else's story throughout. It's just a very normal guy going through, just questioning himself about the choices he's made in life and the things that he's said and the things that have embarrassed him and made an impact in his life throughout. So it's hard for me to recommend it, but it is a nice package. If you do like the artist Tomine, then I would suggest that you do get this because it is a nice collection. But for the person that's just looking for something entertaining to read, I'm not sure you'd find this as entertaining as you would hope. Looking at the price on this, it came in at $29.95. That's the MSRP, of course, so you could probably get it a little less expensive at discount houses and whatnot. He does have some blurbs from some famous people on here, including Alan Moore. But Alan Moore just says, kind of backing up that, being in comics is awful. So this kind of says it too. And I don't know if you expect a different kind of life. As far as comics or anything else goes, you're only as good as the last thing that you've done. And if you haven't done anything for a while, it can be, it could be a struggle. Anyway, not the most cheery review here, but it was good enough that I kept going and I did read the whole thing. So let me put it that way. It just wasn't probably one of my favorite books of the year. It did come out last year in 2020, and I'll be on the lookout. He wrote something called Optic Nerve, by the way. That was his indie comic, and so you might be familiar with that from way back. I kind of remember the covers of them. I don't think I ever read any of them, but it was an indie comic, kind of almost a zine. The way it was put out is what I recall. So anyway, check it out if you like, but this is my review, and as always, thanks for stopping by and listening to me. Please subscribe, please like, please leave comments, and we'll see you next time at the Temple of Tomes. As always, this is Indie Comics Jones bidding you adieu.